Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter number 9, The Appearance of Demon Vṛkāsura. Text number 37. This is a text, not a this is a prose, not a poetry. So we'll try to chant little by little. Samavishama matinam matam manusarasi yatha rajyu khandaha sarpadidhiyam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with proper intelligence who knows it to be only a rope. Similarly, you, as the supersoul in everyone's heart, inspire fear of fearlessness according to one's intelligence, but in you there is no duality. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita 4.11, the Lord says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the reservoir of everything, including all knowledge, all truth, and all contradictions. The example cited herein is very appropriate. A rope is one truth, but some mistake it for a snake, whereas others know it to be a rope. Similarly, devotees who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not see contradictions in Him, but non-devotees regard Him as the snake-like source of all fear. For example, when Nrisimhadeva appeared, Prahlad Maharaj saw the Lord as the Supreme Solace, whereas his father, a demon, saw him as the ultimate death. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.37, Bhayam dvitiyabhiniveshatah syat. Fear results from being absorbed in duality. When one is in knowledge of duality, one knows both fear and bliss. The same Supreme Lord is a source of bliss to devotees and fear to non-devotees who have a poor fund of knowledge. God is one, but people understand the absolute truth from different angles of vision. The unintelligent see contradictions in Him, but sober devotees find no contradictions. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. The demigods are offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. Initially they offered prayers when the Lord was not visible to them. And being pleased with their prayers, the Lord appeared in their presence. And then they continued to offer prayers to Him. So this is one of those prayers offered by the Devatas. In these prayers, the truth about the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed. It is very difficult to understand the Supreme Absolute Truth as the person, personality. Primarily because in this material world we have experience of persons, but our experience is only of conditioned souls. those souls who have accepted a material body and who have come under the influence of the illusory energy. The absolute truth as a supreme person is never under the influence of illusion, is never conditioned, always the master, always the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, supreme everything. So that personality is very difficult for us to understand, to conceive. Even his actions are inconceivable. Shukadeva Goswami offers prayers to the Lord before he begins to answer questions by Parikshit Maharaj, the 4th chapter, the 2nd canto of Bhagavatam. He describes the Supreme Lord as Anupalaksha Vartmane. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is, he is the Lord whose ways are inconceivable. So, if the Lord performs an action, it is not understandable very easily or always by conditioned souls. First of all, we can't recognize that he is the Lord many times, especially when he appears like a human being. So we mistake him to be like another created being of this world, because he appears as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And in the case of Krishna, it is not so simple that he appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki and performed his activities. No. He was transferred secretly to the house of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Devi. And except for Vasudeva and Devaki, nobody else knew that the Supreme Lord has appeared, that Devaki and Vasudeva have given birth to a son, and that son has been transferred to the house of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Nobody knows except Vasudeva and Devaki. So, Krishna performed his pastimes, the birth pastime, he awarded to Vasudeva and Devaki. And then his childhood pastimes, he awarded to Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and all the Brajavasis. And then again, in order to stop this harassment by Kamsa, Kamsa was harassing Vasudeva and Devaki. So Krishna went from Vrindavan to Mathura, and he actually killed this, not killed, he delivered Kamsa. So here it is said by the Devatas that in the Supreme Lord there is no duality. That means there is no difference between his killing and his protecting. This duality, no? So Krishna says, apparently, like he is having this distinction he makes between devotees and demons. Paritranaya sadhunam. I advent myself, I incarnate for protecting my devotees. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. And I also appear to kill these demons. So, there is apparently duality in him, and it is understandable that he protects his devotees and he kills the demons. But then, the confidential understanding is, he is merciful, of course, to the devotees, that he protects them, but he is also merciful to the demons, and therefore he kills them. So what is this business of killing because he wants to show mercy to the demons? And Srila Prabhupada explains that in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord's mercy is shown to demons only when the Lord kills them. The Lord's mercy is shown to the demons only when he kills them. Why? Because why does the Lord have to kill them? Anyway, nobody is immortal in this world, including the demons. They will die. It's not that the Lord has to kill them, only then they will die. No, they're going to die. And the laws of nature are very, very, very stringent, enforced perfectly by Krishna himself through his agents. So the demons, like anybody else, the demons are also subject to the laws. So the more they commit sinful activities, the more they are going to be punished. More severely they are going to be punished. But the Lord's mercy is, on the one side, he wants to stop these demons harassing his devotees. He wants to put a stop to that. So apparently he is putting a stop to their harassing the devotees by killing them. But that killing is not killing. That killing is purifying them. He is not destroying them. Of course, there is no destruction of the soul. Neither is destroying their body. He is actually cleansing them of all their sinful reactions by putting an end to their sinful activities. He puts a stop to their sinful activities. Enough! Stop this nonsense. And that is out of his compassion. Anyway, when they die, by arrangement of material nature, their sinful activities will, their harassment will stop. Not sinful activities, harassment will stop. But the sinful activities don't stop. Now Krishna kills them, he stops their harassment of the demons, he purifies them of all the sinful reactions, and it's not just nullifying the sinful reactions, awards them liberation from material bondage. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami, he is describing the various qualities of Krishna. So Krishna has unlimited qualities, but he says to Sanatana Goswami, I will describe only some of the principal qualities. So first he lists Krishna's 50 qualities which the living entities have in common with Krishna. Of course, Krishna has an unlimited quantity of those qualities. But we, as part and parcel of Krishna, we also have a very, 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 very small quantity of those 50 qualities. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Krishna has got 5 other qualities which no living entity has, which no jiva has. Those are to be found in Lord Shiva. In this material world of which we have experience, there are the human beings, and below the human beings are all lower creatures, and above the human beings are all residents of the upper planets. In general, they are called Devatas. So, we know of humans, lower than humans, the lower other creatures, and above the humans are the Devatas. But among all these created beings in this whole universe that we know of, from the scriptures of course, not otherwise, within this universe there are Devatas, but among the Devatas, the 3 top Devatas are Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. Now Brahma has only those 50 qualities in common with Krishna, which every jiva has. But Brahma has perfected those 50 qualities. That's why he's in a position of Brahma. So the other 50 qualities, the other jivas, as regard 50 qualities, they may have some of them, depending on how much they are developed in their consciousness. But Brahma has all the 50 qualities. Shiva is not a jiva, and therefore Shiva has the distinction of having 5 other qualities which Krishna has, which the jivas don't have, which the jivas cannot have. So Shiva has those qualities as a very distinct personality, distinctly different from all the jivas, but he is not Vishnu. He is not equal to Vishnu. He is not the personality of Vishnu. He is a unique personality in his own category. In his own category. So he is a very unique personality. He is situated in between the jivas and Vishnu. So sometimes there are descriptions of Shiva that he conducts himself like a jiva. And sometimes there are descriptions of Shiva, he conducts himself like he is Vishnu. Like in Bhagavatam itself, in the 10th canto, there was one demon, Vṛkāsura, not Vṛkāsura, Vṛkāsura. So this Vṛkāsura performed tapasya, and he was asking a benediction he was wanting a benediction from Shiva. And Shiva as a Devata, he's got a specific role to play as a Devata to award benedictions to those who worship him and those who try to please him by performing some tapasya, yajna dana tapa. So this Vṛkāsura wanted a benediction that whosoever head I touch, that person's head should get cut off, the person should immediately die. Death by just touching the head. He wanted this benediction. So Shiva knew that this demon is going to create so much nuisance if I award him that benediction. He knew what was in this demon's mind. So he did not respond to his tapasya. And these demons, when they do tapasya, they perform sometimes such severe austerities it disturbs the universal arrangement of peaceful living for all the created, for all the creatures. So when the arrangement gets disturbed, then something has to be done by the controllers, the devatas. So Shiva had to respond when this demon was exceeding his limit of performing tapasya, so as to disturb the universal arrangement. So then Shiva appeared in front of him and said, "What is it you want?" So then this demon said, "I want this benediction." And Shiva tried to explain to him, "This is not a very good benediction. Why do you want this benediction? Anything else you want, I can give you." So, but this demon would not agree. And then Shiva was obliged to give him that benediction. Now, this demon, his plan was that as soon as I get that benediction, I am going to touch Shiva's head. And then immediately Shiva will die. And after Shiva dies, I can enjoy his consort, Parvati, Uma. Because Uma is very, very, very beautiful. But she is not again an ordinary jiva. She is in her own category as the external potency of the Supreme Lord. So anyway, nobody can even approach her or touch her or even dream of, doing anything with her. But still, these demons are all foolish people. So he thought, now I can enjoy Parvati. So he started approaching Shiva. Shiva could make out, oh, he's trying to use that benediction I have given on me. So Shiva started running away. Now, Shiva is actually not a jiva. He doesn't die like jivas die. He has no death like jivas. Why is he running away in fear of this demon? So Shiva's personality is a very mysterious personality. Apparently he was running away in fear of this demon who has been given this benediction. If he touches Shiva's head, Shiva will die. So to understand Shiva's personality is very, very difficult. It's very difficult. You cannot understand. Shiva was running away simply to glorify Vishnu. Because what is Shiva's position? He is a Vaishnava. He is a Vaishnava. That is his primary identity, Vaishnava. He also accepts the position of a Devata. Not a Devata, many Devatas' position he accepts. Many different positions of power in this material universal administration he accepts. So, he has many different forms, of which his form as a Vaishnava is the real identity of Shiva. And that is known only to devotees of Krishna. Nobody else knows Shiva as a Vaishnava. Nobody else knows. So, devotees know Shiva is the greatest among Vaishnavas, among the great top Vaishnavas, pure devotees of Krishna. But he is not a jiva. He is not Vishnu. He is Shiva. So as a Vaishnava, what is Vaishnava's business? Only to glorify Krishna, pure devotee. No other business. He has no other business. So whatever he is doing, if he is acting as a Devata, he is doing it as a service to Vishnu. Vishnu personally doesn't do any administration, though he is the maintainer. He has got his agents. All these Devatas, they are all Vishnu Bhaktas Smruto Daiva. They are devotees. So what service are they doing? They are serving the Lord as his subordinate administrator. Under his direction, according to whatever position he awards them, they carry out their duties as devatas. So, Shiva is also serving Vishnu by accepting the position of different devatas. He is Bhutanatha, he is the destroyer, he is the director of Tamoguna. He's got many positions in this material world, material administration. So many positions are there. And he appears, when Krishna appears as Chaitanya, he appears as Advaita Acharya. He appears as a devotee. So, Shiva's position is very difficult to understand except for devotees of Krishna. Nobody else can understand that he is actually a Vaishnava. So, in order to glorify Vishnu, he apparently was running away in fear. What did he do? He straight went to Vishnu Loka, Shvetadvipa. And there, Vishnu understood that Shiva is just given this benediction, but see, Shiva's position is, if he gives a benediction, he cannot withdraw. He cannot withdraw that benediction once it is given. This is again, this business of giving benediction or even cursing somebody. These are all different powers which the living entities or the devatas acquire by dint of their position which they are awarded, or by dint of their tapasya, or by dint of their pious activities, etc. So Shiva is playing the role of a devata. So a devata, when he gives a benediction, he cannot withdraw. That's a law. That's a law of material nature. So Shiva has given the benediction, he can't withdraw. But Vishnu can do anything. Vishnu can do anything. So he went to Vishnu and decided Vishnu will handle it. So Vishnu disguised himself as a small, attractive, young brahmachari boy. And this Vṛkāsura is chasing Shiva. And Vṛkāsura also was, Vṛkāsura, not Vṛkāsura. Vṛkāsura is chasing Shiva. Actually, he can't enter Shvetadvipa. But Vishnu allowed him to enter Shvetadvipa. So Shiva went to Shvetadvipa, Vṛkāsura also went following him. And then this brahmachari boy used this Yogamaya, his illusory energy called Yogamaya. So by his Yogamaya potency, he put this demon into illusion. And the demon who was chasing apparently became tired and stopped when he saw this boy. So then Vishnu asked him, "Where are you going? Why are you running like this? Take some rest. You seem to be very tired by running." Like that, he put him into illusion and made him touch his own head, and his benediction is over because he killed himself. So this is to glorify Vishnu. To glorify Vishnu, he did this. You see? So, Shiva's position is difficult to understand also because he has got these 5 extra qualities which Vishnu has. But Vishnu has, Shiva has 55 qualities in common with Krishna among the 64 qualities that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is listing as the principal qualities. And then Vishnu has 60 qualities in common with Krishna, 5 more than Shiva. And those 60 qualities, one of them is he awards liberation and purifies whoever he kills. So this is one of the 60 that extra 5 qualities Vishnu has as compared to Shiva. So Shiva cannot award liberation. Shiva cannot award liberation. That is not Shiva's position. Of course, as a Vaishnava, Shiva can bless somebody with devotion, which includes liberation. That's different. But as a Devata, if somebody prays to him for some benediction, he can award any material benediction except liberation. He himself says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayaha. This statement by Shiva, Prabhupada quotes that in the Bhagavad Gita, the purports. So Shiva cannot award liberation, but Vishnu awards liberation. So Vishnu or Krishna, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. This vinashaya cha dushkrutam is meant for delivering the demons. Therefore, if you carefully note, in many chapters in the Krishna book, Prabhupada says, deliverance of the demon, such and such a demon. He doesn't say killing of the demon. Sometimes, of course, he uses that killing word. But we should understand, killing is not killing. Krishna never kills anybody. Krishna only delivers by putting an end to their sinful activities, purifying them and liberating them. So, this is a contradiction. For people who are ignorant, there is a contradiction in the personality of Krishna. What is that? He protects the devotees and he kills the demons. So this is a dvandva, duality. But this duality is reconciled in the personality of Godhead Krishna only by the devotees. The devotees understand that killing is not killing. He is only showing his compassion. He is only purifying them. He is liberating them. They don't have to suffer any reactions for all the nonsensical, sinful activities they have been doing. So this is mercy, this is compassion. When Krishna kills a demon, sometimes Krishna is very angry, like Narasimha. He was very angry against Hiranyakashipu. But his killing Hiranyakashipu resulted in Hiranyakashipu becoming purified and liberated. No suffering, no reactions, no sinful reaction. So that is called compassion. Compassion. When Krishna decides to show compassion upon somebody, that person is completely freed from all sinful reactions. So when Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Devotees understand this is Krishna's quality of unlimited compassion. Why? Because Krishna only has made the law, no? Laws of nature, that we have to suffer for our sinful reactions. We have to suffer for our sinful reactions. But Krishna says, never mind. If you surrender to me, you don't have to suffer any reactions. I will free you from all those reactions. Because only Krishna can do that. Nobody else can do it. So I'll free you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Do not worry. So that is Krishna's quality of compassion. So he is compassionate not only to devotees. Of course, to devotees he is very compassionate. But he is compassionate to the demons also. So that's why the prayer here is, in you there is no duality. Sama Vishama Matinam Matam Anusarasi Yatha Rajjukhandaha Sarpadi Dhyam. Now, why is Prabhupada telling that in the translation, the demigods are praying, in you there is no duality? Because they are talking of this duality of a rope and a snake. They are giving an example of the duality of rope and snake. This analogy of rope and snake is misused by many philosophers. In the Shastras, this analogy is given to explain what is there in this prayer. What is this explanation of this duality of rope and snake? Carefully understand this. A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake. Under illusion, we mistake a rope to be a snake. And in darkness, or when there is very little light, we can't see whether something is a rope or a snake. Some object we cannot see what it is. And suddenly the object moves. So in the darkness, or in that partial, very little light, we can't see properly. We think, oh, danger, maybe it's a snake. So it is said here, a rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with proper intelligence who knows it to be only a rope. So one who is enlightened spiritually, for him there is no illusion. So he sees things as they are. He is able to see everything as it is. He sees a rope as a rope. He sees a snake as a snake. He neither mistakes a rope for a snake, nor does he foolishly consider a snake as a rope, and therefore, I have no fear of snakes. Okay? So he is situated in the truth. Because he is free from illusion, he is situated on the platform of knowledge. And who is that person? Only a devotee. Only a devotee can be free from illusion. Nobody else can be free from illusion. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 14th verse. What is that? Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante maya metam taranti. If you want to be out of illusion caused by the interaction of the three gunas, only way is to surrender to Krishna. And who surrenders to Krishna? Only devotees. Those who are devotees, they surrender to Krishna. They are surrendered souls. So, for a devotee, there is no question of mistaking a rope for a snake. But for non-devotees, because they are in illusion, they can't ascertain what is the truth. Under illusion, they mistake one thing for another. Similarly, the analogy is being given by the Devatas to glorify the Lord. You as a super soul in everyone's heart inspire fear or fearlessness according to one's intelligence. If the Lord is equal to everybody and He is everyone's well-wisher, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, both are there in the Bhagavad Gita only. So if He is a well-wisher, why should He inspire fearfulness in anybody? Why should He inspire fear in anybody? He is the topmost well-wisher. Fear is a cause of suffering for the living entities in this material world. So a well-wisher who doesn't want living entities to suffer, why should he inspire fear in them? So then people say, oh, he is partial. There is duality in him. And he himself says, no, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam satai bhajamyaham. And Prabhupada is quoting that to say, here it is said, he inspires fear or fearfulness according to one's intelligence. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. So those who are surrendered, he instills fearlessness. Those who are not surrendered, he instills fear in them. So then how can you call him all merciful, topmost well-wisher, equal to everybody? So it requires intelligence to understand that how he is being equal and impartial in instilling fear or fearfulness according to one's intelligence. Now, what does this really mean? According to one's intelligence, he instills fear or fearlessness. It means that if in this material existence there is somebody who is desirous of enjoying materially independent of Krishna, then the whole material arrangement, including the laws, the creation, the created bodies, etc., everything is simply an arrangement for the living entities who desire to enjoy materially. This is the arrangement of the Lord. So if somebody is not surrendered to Krishna, means they want to enjoy independently. If they want to enjoy independently, 2 more minutes, I'll finish. I know I exceeded the time, I'm sorry. If they want to enjoy independently, what will Krishna do? He'll be neutral. He's seated in everybody's heart, but he's neutral. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priya. So according to their karma, they will either be fearless or they will be fearful. Okay? So that is the situation of the non-devotees. They are completely under the laws because they want to enjoy materially, they want to enjoy independently. So they have to be under the illusion. Only then they can enjoy so-called independent enjoyment. And whereas the devotees, they don't want to be in illusion. They don't want to enjoy independently. So for them, Krishna only gives them fearlessness. Only fearlessness. And therefore, for the devotees, there is no duality in the Lord. Not that sometimes he gives me fear, sometimes he gives me fearlessness. No. He is always giving me fearlessness. Bhajahure mana Srinandanandana abhaya charana ravindare. Devotees are always taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, which is the source of all fearlessness. The only source of all fearlessness in this material world. So, devotees don't see any duality in the Lord. So, when devotees see Krishna is killing somebody, devotees know Krishna is killing them to liberate them, to purify them, to stop their sinful activities, which is good for them. So, in this way, only a devotee can actually see Krishna, understand Krishna properly. No duality in Krishna. I'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki.